This cute little plant is called Ulearum donburnsii, and I got this from a specialty grower, and I really, really love the deep, elegant green, kind of like an evergreen color, arrowhead-shaped leaves. And this is in the Araceae, so it's related to philodendrons, monsteras, and they come in like little bulbs, and you could see like their petioles here have this kind of like tiger-like splotches along the edge. I just think all around this is an attractive plant and a nice plant for a houseplant enthusiast who doesn't have a lot of space. Now, I have never grown this plant before, and I've only gotten it within the last like 4 or 5 months, and I have this growing under one of my grow lights in the interior of my space, and it seems to be growing very well. Actually, I'd want to maybe bring the grow light down a little bit closer to the plant itself, because I don't know if it's reaching up a little bit more towards the lights, but it seems to be and is really responsive and actually quite healthy. I do think that these are probably a little bit more understory forest plants. This is actually native to Ecuador, and you would want to propagate it usually by the bulbs. So let me see if I could pull one out. Okay, yeah, so here you could actually see that it's just got this little shallow kind of bulbous root and have some roots off of that. So very easy to actually divide these. Now I'm gonna have to really plant this one back up while I'm doing this like 365 right here. So I'll need a little bit more soil on it afterwards, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to actually like separate these, because they have these like little bulbous roots. And so that's like a perfect plant for propagation or actually sharing with friends if you could get your hands on one, because like I said, these are a little bit more rare and you can't actually find them in the typical like houseplant market. As far as soil goes, I always have these in a little bit more of a kind of barkier, perlite-y mixed, because I never want to overwater my plants, and that's usually one of my strategies and tactics to be able to do it. I also have this in a terracotta planter, which actually got some paint on it right here, so it's a little bit more shabby chic, if you will. That was actually not on purpose. It was probably just as I was painting my room and my house. And because I think these are a little bit more understory plants, like you're not going to necessarily give them intense light. I would say like a more moderate light is going to be perfectly fine for these. And if you're going on the fertilizer side of things, you know, I might want to err a little bit more towards the monthly basis and maybe doing something that is a more well-balanced fertilizer, like a 10-10-10 or a 1-1-1 if you're going a little bit more on the organic end of things. As far as watering goes, I mean, I let these get you know, pretty dry. They do have this kind of semi-succulent stem. They have a fairly thick leaf. It's not like super succulent, but it definitely looks like it's a plant that is accustomed to maybe drying out a little bit. And of course it has that like kind of thick rooty bulb, but it doesn't have extensive roots. So it's not something that you're going to like want to put in a lot of water and then have, you know, their roots, which are quite small in this quite small bulb. You wouldn't want it to rot, you know, the plant at all. I don't know if these actually go dormant. I don't think they do, because for me, I'm actually shooting this in the approaching winter months, and it doesn't seem to be going through any kind of dormancy, and that is awesome, but I'd have to do a little bit more research on the plant in order to be able to comment on it. However, if you're growing this plant and you know a little bit more about it, and then you should feel free to actually just share in the comments, because I think by adding some more of that information, it just ends up being like an incredible wiki of information, a community wiki of sorts. So I would absolutely love that. And if you haven't been growing this plant and this one's new for you, then tell me as well, because I think that is just one of the other awesome benefits of 365 days of plants, is that you get to actually learn some new species.